Are you looking for the best gaming monitor? In this video, we will look at some of the 5 best gaming monitor on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. ASUS ROG Strix OLED 27-inch. For those after the ultimate 1440p gaming monitor, we currently recommend the ASUS ROG Strix XG27 AQD-MG. This is their new glossy OLED monitor offering a 27-inch panel size, 1440p resolution, and 240Hz refresh rate with adaptive sync. For most gamers after a high-end, brilliant gaming display, the XG27 AQD-MG offers an excellent range of features and performance at a solid, though high-end price. There are a few reasons why we recommend this specific model. First, it's an OLED, so it features individual pixel control and elite response times, making it particularly well-suited to HDR gaming. Its transition speed at 240Hz results in motion clarity that's roughly equivalent to 360Hz LCDs, and these benefits are seen at lower refresh rates as well, making it highly versatile for all sorts of gaming. Whether we're talking single-player or multiplayer, the HDR performance on offer is very good, leading to excellent image quality, particularly for single-player experiences. We get deep zero-level blacks and tight control over highlights, which produces clean HDR imagery free of zone artifacts. This particular OLED has decent brightness too for both high and low APL content, in addition to a glossy coating that preserves good black levels and is free from coating grain. The XG27 AQD-MG is relatively affordable as far as OLEDs are concerned, slotting in at $650 to $700. Yes, that's still an expensive price tag overall, but this ASUS model is better than its competitors, which start around $600, particularly for brightness. Alternative choices. Some alternate choices to consider are as follows. Get the ASUS ROG Swift PG27 AQDP if you want a 1440p 480Hz OLED with the best motion clarity on the market and are willing to pay $1,000 for the privilege. It's expensive, but truly stunning for multiplayer gaming. Get a 360Hz QD-OLED like the MSI MPG271QRX, Dell Alienware AW2725DF, or Gigabyte Aorus FO27Q3 if you want a slightly higher refresh rate than the XG27 AQD-MG, but don't want to go all the way up to 480Hz typically. They cost about $50 to $100 more than the ASUS model, and this group of QD-OLEDs all offer similar performance. Number 2. ASUS ROG Swift 32-inch. The ultimate 4K gaming monitor right now is one of the many 4K OLEDs that hit the market in the first half of 2024. OLED brings lightning-fast response times and individual pixel control, resulting in excellent HDR gaming. When you step up to 4K, you get a higher resolution, better text clarity, and a larger panel size, making these displays some of the best on the market overall. There are 2 main 32-inch 4K, 240Hz OLED panel variants available today, QD-OLED and OLED. The best choice for you will depend on your preferences. For example, QD-OLEDs are generally glossy, and OLEDs are usually matte. QD-OLEDs typically have wider color gamuts and higher color brightness, but OLEDs tend to have stronger brightness in brighter scenes and include dual-mode functionality that allows them to run at 1080p 480Hz. There's no correct choice here, and we don't believe one panel is clearly superior to the other. They offer different features and characteristics. The good news is that you can't really go wrong picking a 4K OLED. Almost all of the 4K models we've tested perform very well, and especially among the QD-OLED pack, the various options perform very similarly. Dell Alienware AW3225QF32-inch curved 240Hz QD-OLED. If you decide to go with a QD-OLED, we can recommend all of the options mentioned below simply because they all use the same panel, and it's an excellent panel for gaming. To make a choice here, it's best to focus on any specific features you'd like, such as Dolby Vision or unlock color modes, as well as pricing in your region. The ASUS ROG Swift PG32UCDM, the MSI MPG321URX, the slightly cheaper MAG321UPX, the Dell Alienware AW3225QF, and the Gigabyte Aorus FO32U2P, plus the slightly cheaper FO32U2. You should also consider the Samsung Odyssey OLED G80SD that we haven't tested. Number 3. ASUS ROG Swift PG32UCZD. Much of what we discuss in these monitor buying guides is geared towards versatile gaming monitors or categories that mostly benefit single-player gamers like HDR. But if you're a multiplayer gamer and all you do is enjoy competitive shooters and the like, what you're after is going to be very different from people that want a display to enjoy excellent graphics or to use for part-time productivity. So this time, we're adding a dedicated category for multiplayer monitors. The key features to look out for multiplayer gaming are refresh rate, response times, motion clarity, and input lag. Higher refresh rates are clearly better for competitive games as they lead to smoother gameplay, better clarity, and lower latency. Fast response times reduce ghosting and blur, and features like backlight strobing can take clarity to the next level. If you're not interested in using backlight strobing due to its complexity and downsides, the best monitors for motion clarity right now are 480Hz OLEDs. You can get this either through a 1440p 480Hz OLED like the ASUS ROG Swift PG27AQDP, or a 4K 240Hz OLED with 1080p 480Hz dual mode. And here we recommend the ASUS ROG Swift PG32UCZD. Both are truly excellent products with elite motion clarity equivalent to a theoretical 700Hz LCD. This level of clarity is accessible with full adaptive sync, variable refresh rate, and HDR compatibility. If you want to use those features, and input latency is really low, which makes them fast and responsive to use. Outside of the best OLEDs, multiplayer gamers will also benefit from most other OLEDs on the market that feature a refresh rate of 240Hz or higher. A 240Hz OLED is simply faster and clearer than a 240Hz LCD, and 360Hz is a step up again. How much refresh rate you need will depend on the games you are playing and how many FPS your PC can output. There's no difference in clarity between a 240Hz OLED and 360Hz OLED when both are run at 200Hz for 200 FPS. But at any given refresh rate, an OLED will produce the best clarity. You can't really go wrong with any of the 1440p OLED options we mentioned earlier, including the ASUS XG27AQDMG or cheaper models like the AOC AG456UCZD. Number 4. Alienware AW3423 DWF 34-inch QD-OLED. While we have tested more ultra-wide gaming monitors since the last time we recommended this Alienware monitor, our opinion remains that the Dell Alienware AW3423 DWF is the best in this category. At just $700 to $800 these days, the AW3423 DWF is rarely beaten for value, and thanks to the latest suite of firmware updates, it also offers excellent performance. This Alienware is a 34-inch 3440 by 1440 165Hz QD-OLED, bringing benefits like elite response times and per pixel control. This panel can hit up to 1000 nits of brightness for small elements and just looks great displaying HDR content, making it highly suited to single-player gaming, especially with the immersive ultrawide format. It's not the fastest OLED going around these days now that we have 360Hz and even 480Hz options, but the speed of OLED does allow it to punch above its weight relative to an LCD operating at the same refresh rate. The DWF model is well-calibrated and has decent SDR brightness. The subpixel layout of this QD-OLED panel isn't ideal for text quality, and like with all OLEDs, there is a risk of permanent burn-in. The glossy screen coating is divisive, offering benefits in low ambient light environments, but struggling in brighter conditions. Number 5. AOC Agon Pro AG456UCZD. If size is what matters most, it's hard to beat the AOC Agon Pro AG456UCZD we reviewed in spring 2024. With this massive ultra-wide gaming monitor comes a sprawling 45-inch screen featuring a slight curvature for a display that stretches and wraps around your field of view, bringing a wildly immersive gaming experience. Plus, there's plenty of space for multitasking. Admittedly, the 3440 by 1440 resolution diminishes the pixel density, resulting in softer details, but we hardly notice this during the fast-paced action in games. The OLED panel offers a near-infinite contrast ratio for true blacks. In HDR mode, its brightness is commendable, allowing highlights to pop, and because this display supports HDR10, you can enable HDR no matter what device you pair it with. Unfortunately, SDR brightness is underwhelming with a noticeable glare when hit with direct light. Luckily, colors are still vibrant and saturated, and the AOC Agon Pro AG456UCZD achieved 100% coverage of sRGB, 92% of Adobe RGB, and 96% of DCI P3 color spaces. It's not the most color-accurate option out there, so creatives may want to find another display. Still, this monitor's picture is stunning. Where the AOC Agon Pro AG456UCZD really shines is gaming. A 240Hz refresh rate makes for buttery smooth action, while FreeSync Premium and G-Sync compatibility keep your display and GPU on the same team for tier-free gaming. Given it's an OLED panel, this monitor also benefits from a near-instantaneous pixel response time, which helps prevent ghosting, taking that speedy refresh rate even further.